Do you like mysteries? To wander through the enigmatic mist of the inexplicable? Great. I'm Merc, and here you'll find what you're looking for. Welcome to my domains. The truth dissolves into the mist.
The first thing you notice is how ordinary everything seems. You walk through the automatic doors of a grocery store in rural Pennsylvania. The fluorescent lights hum overhead. Shopping carts rattle across the linoleum. You grab a box of macaroni and cheese from the shelf, maybe a box of cereal, maybe a packet of powdered drink mix. You pay. You drive home. You open the box. And then you see it, a small piece of paper, folded with precision, tucked between the inner packaging and the cardboard wall. Your first thought is that it's a coupon, or a misplaced receipt, or perhaps some kind of promotional insert you missed. But when you unfold it, your blood runs cold. The text is dense, cramped, almost frantic. 19 lines of tiny print crammed onto a slip no larger than a postcard. The sentences don't quite form sentences. The words are fragmented, abbreviated, deliberately mangled. There are references to secret societies, to shadowy cabals, to global conspiracies involving names you recognize. Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey. There are mentions of the CIA, the Department of Defense, ancient symbols, and something called the Torches of Liberty. And then there's this line, pulled directly from one of the notes discovered in the wild. Secret society ties to Terom, Schuylkill staged confrontants, and other crises aren't reported, but JFK, Lincoln, warned of SSU read it again. It doesn't make sense. It's not supposed to make sense. But someone went to great lengths to put this piece of paper inside your food. And you are not alone. The phenomenon has a name. The Internet, specifically a community of amateur sleuths on Reddit, dubbed them the Schuylkill Notes. The name comes from Schuylkill County in Pennsylvania, a region of rolling hills and small towns nestled in the eastern half of the state, where the first reports of these strange messages began to surface. The earliest documented reports date back to 2015, a folded note found in a box of food, then another, then dozens more. By 2020, the majority of the notes were being discovered inside food products purchased from grocery stores throughout Schuylkill County. People began posting photographs online, sharing their discoveries, comparing notes. The pattern was undeniable. These weren't isolated incidents. They were a campaign. Here, the notes have been found inside everything: macaroni and cheese boxes, Crystal Light packets, pasta boxes, dog food, cake mix, candy, Pop-Tarts, cookies, and Lunchables. They've been discovered in hot dog buns, in cereal boxes like Lucky Charms, in sealed beauty products. They've been tucked into the pockets of store-bought clothing. They have been found folded inside plastic bags and attached to trees along hiking trails, or wrapped around stones and left in state parks. A crowdsourced Google map, created by Reddit users tracking the phenomenon, suggests that at least 139 individual notes have been discovered as of February 2024. They have been reported from as far east as Easton, as far west as Johnstown, as far north as Lackawanna State Park, and as far south as Gaithersburg in Maryland. They have been found in major chain stores, Walmart, Target, Giant Weis Markets, Wegmans, Trader Joe's, Dollar General, CVS, and Aldi. They have been found in Goodwill stores, Kohl's, Lowe's, and Cabela's. The notes are small, approximately 2 by 3 inches. They are almost always handwritten or printed in a narrow, cramped font. They contain 19 lines of text, give or take. They are filled with bizarre abbreviations and intentionally misspelled words. They reference secret societies, sci-fi movies, international conflicts, and hate groups. They mention JFK, Lincoln, ancient symbols, and cosmic warnings. Some lines are almost poetic in their strangeness. It's tied to Saturn. Lord Oti rings time. And yet, for all their bizarre content, the notes seem to follow a pattern. They are warnings, not threats. They are the ramblings of someone who believes they have uncovered the hidden truth about the world. Someone who feels compelled to share that truth with strangers, one box of food at a time. Who is doing this? That is the question that has haunted Pennsylvania for nearly a decade. The answer remains frustratingly elusive. The Schuylkill County Sheriff's Office and local police say they have never received official reports about the phenomenon. Yet the FBI has been contacted by elected officials. The Food and Drug Administration launched an investigation after receiving more than 20 complaints of notes found in food packaging. A spokesperson for the FDA acknowledged that the agency is aware of the situation and evaluates product defects and complaints it receives. Food tampering is a federal crime in the United States, but the investigation, if it exists, has gone nowhere. Carrie Adamowski, a spokesperson for the FBI in Philadelphia, told the Philadelphia Inquirer that she could neither confirm nor deny any active investigation into the notes. Congressman Dan Moiser and Matt Cartwright have both expressed concern about the notes worrying the public. Wendy Wilson, a spokesperson for Representative Cartwright, said an officer received an anonymous call reporting that 20 notes had been found on state game lands in Mainville, Columbia County. But no one has been caught. No one has been identified. No one has claimed responsibility. Which leads to a more disturbing question. How are these notes getting inside sealed food products? Consider the implications. These boxes are manufactured in factories, sealed by machines, shipped to distribution centers, transported to stores, and placed on shelves. For a note to end up inside a sealed box of cereal or macaroni and cheese, someone would need access at some point along that supply chain. Someone would need to open the packaging, insert the note, and reseal it without detection. Or, more terrifyingly, someone inside the manufacturing process itself is responsible. One theory, proposed by Jackson, a moderator of the Reddit forum devoted to the Schuylkill notes, is that the author works within a food distribution network. Someone with enough access to slip the messages into products before they hit store shelves. Someone who moves through the shadows of the supply chain, invisible to the consumers who ultimately find his work. But that theory raises its own unsettling questions. Is this one person, working alone? Or is it a coordinated effort, a group of individuals sharing a common mission? And why Pennsylvania? Why Schuylkill County? What is it about this particular region that has made it the epicenter of such a strange and persistent mystery? The notes have spread beyond Pennsylvania now. Reports have surfaced in Maryland, New York, Virginia, and Ohio. The phenomenon is growing, expanding like ripples in a pond. And with each new discovery, the mystery deepens. One TikTok user, Ethan Diedman, went viral after highlighting the trend in a video that garnered more than 820,000 views. Somebody posted about finding a schizophrenic note in their Goodle's mac and cheese, she said. And it turns out that this is a much bigger issue than anybody could have anticipated. In the comments, viewers were divided. Some dismissed the notes as nonsense. Others insisted they could be deciphered. "What do you mean, can't you read it?" One commenter wrote. "It's clear as day and not difficult to discern. CIA, DOD, Musk, Torches of Liberty. It's like top 100 buzzwords from 4chan. Another commenter pushed back. "It's telling you all the signs and symbols secret societies use. It even tells you which symbol and which society uses it. Did no one take the time to read it?" But reading it is one thing. Understanding it is another. The notes are filled with references that seem deliberately obscure, intentionally cryptic. They are designed to be deciphered by those who already know the code and to baffle everyone else. Which raises a chilling possibility. What, if the notes aren't meant for us at all? What if they are a message between insiders, a communication system hidden in plain sight, embedded in the most mundane objects imaginable, boxes of food on grocery store shelves? What if you were never supposed to find them, but you did, and now you're part of the mystery? Think about that for a moment. Someone, somewhere, is writing these notes, folding them, sealing them, placing them inside food products that end up in your hands. They have been doing this for at least a decade. They have never been caught. They have never been identified. They may be watching, reading this very article, knowing that their work has sparked a frenzy of speculation and fear. What would drive a person to do something like this? What would compel someone to spend years planting cryptic messages in random places, hoping that strangers would find them and somehow understand? Is it a mental illness, a delusion so powerful that it demands expression? Is it a game, an elaborate prank designed to confuse and frighten? Or is it something else entirely, something darker, something that we are only beginning to glimpse? The Reddit community, our Schuylkillits, has spent countless hours debating these questions. One of the most agreed upon theories is that a single mentally unwell person is responsible. As one user put it, it's a schizophrenic person that, due to their illness, feels the need to spread the word about paranoid conspiracies. When you think like this, it becomes obsessive, and you feel compulsively as though you have to spread the word. Others believe a person is using AI to randomly generate words and symbols associated with companies and groups. Still others think it could be a coordinated group effort, a decentralized campaign of confusion. But these are just theories. The truth remains unknown, and that uncertainty is what makes the Schuylkill notes so unsettling. They exist in a liminal space between reality and paranoia, between the mundane and the sinister. They are physical objects, tangible proof that someone is out there, watching, writing, planting. But they are also utterly incomprehensible, a jumble of fragmented thoughts that resist any coherent interpretation. What does it mean? Who is behind it? And why won't they stop? These are the questions that haunt the people of Pennsylvania. These are the questions that have turned ordinary grocery runs into acts of quiet dread. These are the questions that will linger in your mind long after you finish reading this. But the answers, if they exist at all, remain hidden, just like the notes themselves. There is a moment in every mystery when the known facts begin to feel like a trap. You gather all the evidence, arrange it neatly in front of you, and wait for the pattern to emerge. But sometimes the pattern doesn't come. Sometimes the evidence resists interpretation, and sometimes the most terrifying realization is that the mystery is the point. The Schuylkill notes are not a riddle to be solved. They are a phenomenon to be experienced. They are the echo of a mind that operates according to its own internal logic, a logic that we can never fully understand. Consider the details. The notes are usually sealed in plastic and held together with paper clips. They are often left in places where they will be found by hikers, shoppers, and delivery workers. They are almost always found folded, suggesting a ritualistic precision in their placement. This is not the work of someone acting impulsively. This is the work of someone who has developed a system, a routine, a compulsion. In August 2023, a Pennsylvania resident named Jackson discovered his first note while unpacking groceries from a major supermarket chain. He dismissed it as a freak coincidence. But 2 weeks later, he found another one, tucked inside a box of fig bars purchased from a completely different store. Since then, Jackson and his wife have found nearly 50 of the bizarre notes scattered around Pennsylvania's hiking trails. He is now a moderator on the Reddit forum devoted to the Schuylkill notes. Joe Miller from Sugarloaf Township found a note inside a box of Lucky Charms s'mores cereal he bought in the Hazleton area in December 2023. I opened up the box. I usually open it up and take the bag out, and I opened the bag like this. So I poured it out in my bowl, and out came this paper that was all folded up just like this, he told WJAC-TV. It's the note that really bothers me, Miller said. These notes are found inside food like kids' food. Zachary Zimmerman, 23, was hiking in Lebanon County's Swatara State Park when he found notes attached to trees and wrapped around stones. I picked it up and read it, and it really doesn't make any sense to me, Zimmerman told the Philadelphia Inquirer. It's just a bunch of crazy stuff. In June 2025, a TikToker named @MEDICH3LL found a strange note inside a box of crystal light and posted a video asking for help deciphering it. The video garnered over 1.4 million views. Commenters quickly identified the note as a Schuylkill note. @MEDICH3LL confirmed that they live in Pennsylvania, centrally located in the state. These stories share a common thread. Every discovery is met with the same response: confusion, unease, and a growing sense that something is very wrong. And yet, despite the growing number of sightings, law enforcement remains baffled. The FDA launched an investigation after receiving more than 20 complaints of notes found in food packaging. But so far, no contamination or clear suspect has been detected. The investigation, if it can be called that, has produced no arrests, no suspects, no answers. Some have drawn comparisons to other strange phenomena. The Toynbee tiles, for example, were found embedded in city streets in Philadelphia and other cities, with cryptic messages about Stanley Kubrick and Jupiter. But while the Toynbee tiles had an art house vibe, the Schuylkill notes feel darker, more sinister. They reference international conflicts and hate groups. They are riddled with intentional misspellings and out-of-place apostrophes. They feel like the output of a mind that is unraveling, piece by piece. One of the most chilling aspects of the Schuylkill notes is their persistence. This is not a fleeting trend. This is not a prank that fizzled out after a few weeks. This is a sustained campaign that has lasted for nearly a decade. The earliest reports date back to 2015. Some posts suggest something similar happened in the 1980s, in the Poconos. If that is true, then this mystery is far older and far deeper than anyone realizes. Whoever is behind the notes is patient, methodical, committed. They have been doing this for years, possibly decades, without ever being caught. They have developed a system that works, a way of planting these messages that evades detection. They have turned the entire region of northeastern Pennsylvania into their canvas, and the residents into unwitting participants in their strange, obsessive project. What does the author want? What is the message they are trying to convey? Some believe the notes are a warning about a hidden elite controlling everything. They're basically saying that there's a hidden elite controlling everything, using religion, corporations, war, and symbols to brainwash the world, one Reddit user explained. The notes list companies and organizations that the author believes are connected to secret societies. They provide a kind of decoder ring for the paranoid, a guide to the symbols and signs that the author believes are everywhere. But this interpretation raises its own uncomfortable questions. If the notes are warnings, why are they so difficult to understand? Why are they written in a code that requires specialized knowledge to decipher? Why are they hidden inside boxes of food where they might never be found? Perhaps the author doesn't expect the notes to be understood. Perhaps the act of writing and planting them is the point, a compulsion that cannot be resisted, a need to externalize the chaos inside their own mind. Or perhaps the notes are a kind of breadcrumb trail, a map that leads somewhere if you follow it long enough. Perhaps the author is testing us, seeing who is paying attention, who is willing to dig deeper. Perhaps the notes are an invitation, a call to join a community of seekers who believe they have uncovered the truth. But what truth? That is the question that haunts every person who finds a note. That is the question that drives the amateur sleuths on Reddit to spend hours analyzing each new discovery. That is the question that has turned a simple grocery trip into a source of quiet dread. The answers, if they exist, are hidden in plain sight. They are scattered across Pennsylvania, tucked inside boxes of food, pinned to trees along hiking trails, wrapped around stones in state parks. They are waiting to be found. They are waiting to be read. But reading them is not the same as understanding them. And understanding them may be impossible. One thing is certain. The Schuylkill notes are not going away. The phenomenon has only grown since it first emerged. The notes have spread beyond Pennsylvania. They have captured the attention of millions online. They have become a modern mystery, a riddle that refuses to be solved. And as long as the author remains unknown, the people of Pennsylvania will continue to find these strange messages in their food. They will continue to feel a chill run down their spines as they unfold the tiny slips of paper. They will continue to wonder who is behind it all and what it means. Maybe the author is a single individual, struggling with mental illness, driven by an uncontrollable compulsion. Maybe it's a group, a network of like-minded individuals who share a common worldview. Maybe it's something else entirely, something we haven't even considered. But one thing is certain. Somewhere out there, in the shadows of Pennsylvania, someone is writing, folding, sealing, planting. They are creating a mystery that has captivated the world, a mystery that may never be solved. And the next note could be in your next box of food. You'll open the box, just like always. You'll reach inside, expecting the familiar, and you'll find a small piece of paper, folded with precision, waiting for you. What will you do when you find it? Will you ignore it? Will you throw it away? Will you post it online, adding your discovery to the growing archive of the strange? Or will you keep it, hold it in your hands, and wonder about the person who placed it there? The Schuylkill notes are a reminder that the world is stranger than we imagine. They are a testament to the power of obsession, the persistence of mystery, and the human need to make sense of the senseless. They are also a warning that someone is out there, watching, writing, waiting. A warning that the ordinary world we take for granted is not as safe as we think. The notes are still appearing. The mystery is still unsolved. The author is still unknown. And the next note could be in your hands. What would you do?
Did you like this mystery? And what is your theory? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed it, then like and share. I'm Merc, and I'll be waiting for you in the next mystery.